about um, May of 22, uh, I had out of the blue a seizure that I'd never had a history of seizures before, and they were never able to find out what caused it or anything. But in the meantime, I'm in the emergency room, and again, I'm a little out of it because I actually woke up when a nurse tried to start, or an EMT tried to start an IV in the ambulance, brought me out of it. So I was still a little bit out of it when I was in the emergency room. They asked for a urine sample, and my wife actually had to hold the pitcher or beaker or whatever that they gave. And she said, like, I filled it like about three-quarters of the way, if not close to full. But they came back and asked me for another urine sample. So, well, okay, so I tried, and I couldn't. And at that point, I ended up on a Foley catheter. They never really found out what happened, but never been able to urinate on my own since then. So I was on a Foley for 7 weeks, and at that point, I was hoping to get taken off the Foley. I went in like a midday appointment, and they said, well, if you want to do that, you want to try and urinate on your own, you got to come back first thing. The nurse will take the catheter off and then, give it about 5 hours or whatever to try and urinate. And I did everything. I went home, and I drank a couple of cups of coffee, bottle of water, took a shower, even had a beer and everything, and nothing was happening after 5. No. So I went back in, and she said, you might be a good candidate for self-catheterization. She gave me a catheter to try, and I was able to insert it and everything, with not too much problem. So I've been using catheters from 180 Medical for the last 2.5 years, and no signs that I'm going to be able to urinate on my own again. Yeah, I'm on a GentleCath Glide. It really works well because the way that they self-enclosed all this stuff with the water sachet in there, that includes sterile water, which when you break this open, that acts as a lubricant for the catheter. And then they also have this no-touch sleeve, which when you remove the catheter, you use the no-touch sleeve instead of holding the catheter itself, and that keeps the catheter sterile. So I'm better off doing this with these, and I don't have any problem with 180 Medical getting them to me. I've always had plenty, never run out or anything. Once you get into doing it, it's really not that hard, and you will find it easier than being on a Foley catheter. I've never had a problem talking to anybody at 180 Medical. One time when I had failed to put the reorder thing in, somebody actually called me like a day or so later and said, we didn't get your reorder and stuff. And I'm sorry, I haven't been on my email for a couple of days or something like that. And she said, well, that's all right, I'll take the order right now. And I haven't had any problem being updated. When the shipment's on its way, I got an email saying it's on its way, gives me a tracking number, and when the shipment's supposed to be delivered. So no problem whatsoever. I've been happy with the service from 180 Medical all along the way. I'm glad that that's who my urologist was working through in the first place.